The opening scene features the Qing Yun Sect that consists of 7 peaks of Kung Fu school. We are firstly shown Dazu Peak, where 6 of its disciples and the daughter of Dazu Peak Master, named Tian, are practicing martial arts in the vast sky. Meanwhile, a student named Zhang Xiaofan, who is a beginner, is still working on his first level of Kung Fu, being a pure-hearted human being who carries out all the chores. Xiaofan is well liked by everyone. The boy has a crush on Tian, who always supports him in his training and takes care of him like an elder sister. During a meal, Xiaofan becomes the topic of discussion as he struggles to progress in Kung Fu, despite nearly a decade in the sect. However, he asserts his commitment, claiming to be at the final stage of his first level of training. In order to test his progress, Master Shang places his hand on Xiaofan's chest. As a result of this, Xiaofan starts leaning backwards, so Tian secretly helps him from behind, and he likes it. One day, while training together with Tian, Xiaofan recalls that it's the same day when his parents passed away. Sensing his grief, Tian uses her flying skills to take him to his village. Once there, Xiaofan recounts a tragic incident of how he witnessed his village being struck by lightning and thunderstorm. As they entered the village, he saw his father, who is a Kung Fu master, fighting with the masked leader of the demon sect. As the battle intensified, both of them used their mystical powers, resulting in a huge explosion. This killed all the villagers, except for Xiaofan and his friend, Jingyu. As they were grieving the death of their loved ones, Master Shang arrived at the scene with his daughter and some soldiers. Xiaofan bowed before him, pleading with him to make him his disciple so that he can avenge his parents in the future. 10 years have passed since that incident, but Xiaofan has found nothing about the murderers. In the next scene, we see the Kung Fu masters from all 7 peaks gather at a place in order to talk about the Kung Fu tournament. It appears that the students from all the peaks will be participating in it, and the winner will be regarded as the leader of the Qing Yun Sect. Later that evening, students from the 6 peaks sneak through the bushes to watch the Shaoshu Peaks training. Upon reaching there, they are awestruck by the exceptional skill of Shu Qi, one of the disciples of Shaoshu. Amidst the spectacle, Xiaofan is unexpectedly pushed forward, drawing attention to himself. As a result, Shu Qi and her fellow female disciples apprehend him for trespassing, while the other students hastily retreat. As a penalty, Shu Qi leaves several itching worms on Xiaofan before letting him go. In the aftermath, Tian reprimands all the students for their actions and warns them against a repeat offense. She instructs the disciples to stand guard outside before applying medicinal powder to rid Xiaofan of the itching worms. He doesn't have the heart to tell her that he kind of likes them. The next day, Xiaofan visits a lake with pumpkins, calling out the name Lingzun. Not long after, a massive dragon emerges from the water and feeds on the pumpkins. Everyone knows that dragons love pumpkins. This huge beast is revealed to be Xiaofan's pet, and he frequently visits the lake to feed it. Xiaofan shares everything with the dragon, including his wish to confess his feelings to Tian. Afterwards, Tian secretly hands her father's Kung Fu manual to Xiaofan, urging him to prepare for the upcoming tournament. From that moment onward, he embarks on his training journey. One day, he is in the middle of meditation when a stone from his locket begins to glow. Here, it's revealed that this stone was given to him by his late father, who also had explained to him about its ability to exert control over others. Although his father had advised him to throw it into a deep abyss, Xiaofan had kept it as a locket. Now that he realizes that it's distracting him from his training, he decides to throw it away. Approaching a cliff, Xiaofan is on the verge of discarding the stone when a monkey intervenes, seemingly desiring the object.
Give me that.
When Xiaofan refuses to comply, the monkey chases him and pushes him into the water. Mysteriously, he is drawn deeper underwater, but the glowing stone helps him resurface. Once he swims out of the water, the monkey again tries to snatch the stone and also bites his arm in the process.
Take that.
Strangely, the blood from the wound is absorbed by the stone, triggering a significant reaction. A mystical stick emerges from the water, and the stone fuses with it, forming a powerful artifact referred to as the blood-sucking bead. All the masters witness this fusion, sensing an impending danger. A short while later, the mystical stick comes to Xiaofan, but he is soon attacked by a black-clad woman named Bi Yao. She attempts to steal it from him, but Shu Qi and Tian intervene in the nick of time. The two of them team up and manage to fend off the enemy. Later, Xiaofan is shocked to learn that his wound has miraculously disappeared, revealing the healing power of the stick. Later, at midnight, Bi Yao infiltrates Dazhu Peak one more time to steal the stick. Despite managing to obtain it, the stick unexpectedly pulls her back towards Xiaofan. With this failed attempt, the girl flees. In the following scene, the master approaches his disciples, who are practicing for the tournament. While he analyzes their skills, Qing Yu from Longsho Peak shows up at the scene. He misunderstands Master Shang and remarks that he isn't training Xiaofan in a good way. This infuriates Tian, who then launches an attack on Qing Yu. However, their fight is soon stopped by the arrival of Qi Hao, a senior member of Longsho School, by whom Tian gets captivated. He apologizes to the master on behalf of Qing Yu and takes him away. Later on, Xiaofan is working in the farm when he spots Tian embracing Qi Hao. This breaks his heart, so he runs towards a field to spill his emotions out. As he arrives there, he witnesses Bi Yao running towards him as she is being chased by a group of soldiers. Despite being unaware of the situation, Xiaofan joins her in a frantic escape and leads her to a cave. While hiding there, he inquires about the reason for the soldiers' pursuit, to which Bi Yao responds that she broke the school rules. Following this, Xiaofan opens up about his one-sided love, while Bi Yao continues with her unsuccessful attempts to snatch the magical stick. After numerous tries, Bi Yao decides to stay there for the night, and they hunt a rabbit for dinner. As their conversation unfolds, they share past stories to one another. Bi Yao recounts a harrowing experience where she and her mother once fell into a deep and dark cave. After days without any food, her mother sacrificed herself to feed Bi Yao. Did she eat her mom? She also goes on to express her wish to go far away from everyone where she can live her life in peace. Hearing this, Xiaofan tells her about a place where he will be going for his advanced kung fu training and promises to take her along. Their heart-touching conversation eventually leads them to change their perception for one another, resulting in them becoming good friends. The scene then fast forwards to the day of the tournament, where students from all schools assemble at a Shaolin temple. The first round opponents are to be determined through a random drawing of balls, and a student receiving a ball marked with the number 1 will directly advance to the second round. As the drawing initiates, Shu Qi acquires the lucky ball, but she opts to exchange it with Xiaofan, believing that it's a cowardly move to progress without a fight. After this, the first round begins, and half of the students are eliminated from the competition. Later, Xiaofan competes in the second round, and his stick moves on its own, an unsubtle metaphor if I've ever seen one, defeating his adversary in no time. Meanwhile, we learn that Shu Qi doesn't seem to be well, so her master, Shui Yu, advises her to walk from the tournament. However, Shu Qi remains undeterred and vows to win the whole competition. Hearing this, her master hands her a special medication which can heal her temporarily.
It's called a Zenzu bean. Give it a taste.
In the third round, Xiaofan confronts his close friend Qing Yu, while Tian faces off against Shu Qi. Qing Yu is clearly a professional fighter in comparison to Xiaofan, so he decides to fight slowly. As the fight begins, the stick's autonomous movements start troubling Qing Yu. This leads him to believe that Xiaofan had been hiding his true abilities, making him upset. He then decides to use all of his strength and fight with no mercy. However, despite his formidable skills, Xiaofan's stick proves to be dominant, and it eventually defeats Qing Yu. The audience, who are unaware about this stick's ability, are shocked to witness this and wonder how Xiaofan got so powerful.
You remember yesterday? He was a little bitch.
Although he wins, Xiaofan is weighed down by the loss of a cherished friend because of the stick. As a result, he walks up to a cliff and throws the stick away. On the other hand, a fierce battle ensues between Shu Qi and Tian, with both showcasing their exceptional fighting skills. However, Shu Qi is ultimately able to defeat Tian. After this, Shu Qi is scheduled to fight with Xiaofan in the final round of the tournament. The same night, Xiaofan is approached by his pet monkey that takes him to the shore of the stream. There, he discovers Shu Qi lying weak on the ground. He hurriedly helps her up and provides her with medicine. He tries to inquire about her well-being, but the latter asks him to turn back and not look at her. After having her medicine, Shu Qi flies away from the scene without any explanation. The following day, everyone heads to the tournament's location for the climactic showdown. Before the round begins, Master Shang approaches Xiaofan with the sentiment that victory or defeat is inconsequential, but he doesn't want him to get hurt. Soon after, the duel begins, and Xiaofan, without his stick, appears notably feeble. But despite enduring a barrage of blows and injuries, he isn't ready to give up so easily. At one point, Shu Qi takes out her sword to defeat him, but Xiaofan's stick reappears, thwarting her assault. The moment he grasps the rod, his wounds heal rapidly, arousing suspicion among the observing masters. After a while of intense clash, both adversaries prepare for their final blow. As they speed towards each other, Xiaofan notices Shu Qi's deteriorating health, prompting him to retreat. Seeing this, Shu Qi also abandons her attack and defeats him with a simple push. Elsewhere, Bi Yao is approached by her leader, who chastises her for failing to retrieve the blood-sucking bead. Here, it's revealed that Bi Yao is actually from the Demon Sect, and that she is here on a mission to steal the stick from Xiaofan. Thought that was obvious, but I guess it's a twist. Now that her masters are angry, the sect has deployed several demon warriors to complete the mission. Meanwhile, the Qing Yun Sect's masters, who recognize the stick as the Demon Sect's weapon, assess the unconscious Xiaofan to determine whether he belongs to the Demon Sect. Just then, Tian and other disciples show up with the news of a demon attack, resulting in the demise of numerous students. Sensing the gravity of the situation, the masters restrain Xiaofan and have their disciples keep an eye on him before heading to confront the intruders. Not long after, Bi Yao sneaks into the temple and uses her power to render all the guards unconscious. She then frees Xiaofan and takes him to the Demon King, who happens to be her father. The Demon King seizes the blood-sucking bead, but its fusion with Xiaofan's blood enables him to reclaim it. Infuriated, the Demon King opts to finish him off, disregarding his daughter's pleas. He knocks down his daughter and launches an assault on Xiaofan. Shortly after, all the masters, as well as their disciples, arrive at the scene to fight the Demon Sect. In the next scene, the Qing Yun Sect masters and Xiaofan face the formidable Demon King, while the disciples engage in combat with the other demon warriors. It becomes evident that the Demon Sect is much more powerful than the Qing Yun Sect, as the combined efforts of all masters prove insufficient against the might of the Demon King. At a critical moment, the Demon King unleashes his fiery prowess, prompting the masters to unite in defense with their thunderous abilities. Witnessing the overwhelming strength of the Demon King, Xiaofan intervenes with his freaking stick, providing support to his masters. He ultimately manages to defeat the demons, but he himself gets possessed by a demonic soul in the process. In the aftermath, the masters recognize Xiaofan's evil dominance, and as a result, they decide to kill him before he destroys the world. However, Xiaofan is so strong that he overpowers all of his masters, one after another. When on the brink of striking down Master Shang, Tian steps in, prompting him to fatally strike her head with his stick. Despite being in her final moments, she reaches out to him and tries to snap him back to consciousness. Fortunately, her efforts are successful, and Xiaofan regains his composure. He just murdered the love of his life, and everybody lives happily ever after. The end. No, oh wait. Shu Qi, who is the last surviving disciple, returns the favor by deciding to let Xiaofan go instead of killing him. The movie ends as Xiaofan carries Bi Yao and sets off to somewhere peaceful, where he had promised to take her. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.